Zahao, 新年快乐. Welcome back to the morning edition of a quickie grifty. All right. That is a good one. Okay.
What Donald Trump?
We're gonna just react to this CNN panel. Call it good, because I do not want to watch the State of the Union, where it's just King Joffrey and a bunch of seals clapping for him.
Ultimately wanted, and what perhaps your Democratic leadership wanted to avoid?
Oh yeah, no, the president clearly came in with a strategy to do that, right? His strategy was to try to rage bait people into that fight. He wanted.
The Democrats should have been there. They should have been fighting that. They should have been opposing that shit. Instead of just cowering as if it'll go away because they don't show up. God. These people are such losers in the Democratic Party, dude.
Wanted that, and he got it. Look, ultimately, he's not deporting 2 members of Congress, just like he didn't lock up Hillary, even though that was chanted in arenas, around the country. So, look, he can't fix his poll numbers. He can't turn around the fact that he's underwater on the economy, underwater on immigration, the 2 issues that helped get him elected. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to fight to the point where he tries to make us not an option, right? He wants to just bring us down with him to the hope that that might help him somehow survive the midterms. This is the new strategy. He met with his pollsters. They saw where everything is. They can't turn around their stuff. They've ruined it in the first year. So the strategy is to try to bring everybody down in order to survive the midterms.
So Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah, they're probably going to try to use ICE to intimidate voters. Or, I don't even... Midterms are so far out and the primaries haven't even ended, so who knows? But if... God damn it, dude. If we elect if we nominate moderates for the midterms, like if Jasmine Crockett wins, like, she's definitely gonna lose because she's fake as hell. I think, at least. Ain't no way she's a lawyer who thinks, like, oh yeah, we should still defend Israel. They just final solutioned Gaza. Everybody saw it with their own eyes over the last 3 years. They're trying to start a war with Iran. Israel has the right to defend itself, though, says Jasmine Crockett. Ugh. That is perfect. Oh, anyway.
Responded to Trump. She said, can't take 2 Muslims talking back and correcting him, so now he's crashing out. And then she used the hashtag President Majnoon, which means crazy or insane in Persian.
Yeah, I mean...
The One Piece is real!
That's Rashida Tlaib right now. She's a baller.
I mean, she also got what she wanted, which was a mistake, I think, for the Democrats to play into that. I actually agree with the congressman. I think the president was setting up Democrats in a really simple and easy way. They shouldn't have fallen for it. It seems pretty easy to stand up and say, actually, no, I support American people first. That is where I stand. And we can have a nuanced conversation afterwards if you want about it. They walked into that trap because it was so easy to set.
Well, but that's not true. I mean, I stand for
Most Democrats didn't stand.
I stand for Americans over non-citizens, and so do all of my colleagues.
Ugh, gross. This is why the Democratic parties are losers, because they think they're so trapped in a fucking DC blob bubble that like they don't even realize pretty much every American has daily interactions with non-citizens. Or like every American citizen who actually goes outside has interactions with friendly interactions with non-citizens every single day. So nobody gives a fuck really about the citizenship status of anyone. And no normal voter gives a fuck about the citizenship status of their neighbors. Okay.
But just because it's not the Galactic Senate, just because the Emperor says rise doesn't mean I get up. Like I'm a different branch of government. I rose for the heroes that were in the gallery, not because the president.
But not for the other point. I mean,
I stood. Salute. Oh, okay.
You rose because, and thank you for rising. I think in those cases
Thank you, sir. Thank you for rising. What's our military doing? Oh yeah, we're trying to starve Cuba, rob Venezuelan oil, and start another quagmire war in Iran. Thank you for rising, sir. Support the troops.
It's an easy moment to be united, whether it's around Team USA or it's around any of the people who were featured there. But that's sending a message that you agree with the statement or the sentiment, and you chose not to stand.
Well, I'm sure if Joe Biden told the Republicans to
Oh my God, this is such a baby battle. You didn't stand well enough, sir. Good sir. Ugh. What are these guys smoking? Can I have some of that?
I think
but to that point, doesn't that happen at every single State of the Union address? The president says something innocuous. The party that is the opposite party doesn't.
Yeah. Thank you, Abby. Abby started watching Hassan, I think. Or something. I don't know. Feels like her tone's shifted in the last couple of years.
Doesn't stand. That happens every single year.
Yeah, but I don't feel like these shouting matches used to happen. I mean, they started happening maybe, but in my memory, with Joe Wilson under Obama. You know, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't support Donald Trump, but I am an institution.
But I support the institutions that prop him up. Ugh. She is stuck in that box, dude.
Constitutionalist, and I think that there is a pomp and circumstance and gravitas to something like the State of the Union. Does he use it to lie? Yes. Does he use it to divide? Does he use it to attack immigrants? Yes. But that doesn't mean that that two Congress people should be in this shouting match. And look, what he tweeted out today is horribly racist. And I say this as someone that gets told the same thing over and over again. Go back to where you came from. I can't tell you how many times I open up social media and it says, go.
Okay, so you're saying Donald Trump is openly racist, but Rashida Ilhan and Al Green shouldn't go protest his speech? What a pussy, dude. What a fucking coward. Ugh.
Go eat a burrito and go back to Mexico, because racists are so stupid they don't realize there's more than one country in Latin America, and I'm not from Mexico. Also, I don't eat burritos. I like tacos. But the fact that what he said is racist and it is horrible, and it's, you know, and it emboldens and it strengthens, empowers racism. My question is, how does it help American citizens to have the President of the United States and two Congress people in a pissing match over stupidity? How does it help them have lower grocery prices? How does it help him have access to health care, access to housing? And actually, I think it's, you know, you talk about Donald Trump goading them into this. I think this is really stupid by Donald Trump. I mean, most people use the State of the Union as a launching pad to then go out and sell their agenda and try to have it be a good moment for them. And instead, he's out there in the, you know, in the bottom of the gutter, fighting and being a racist pig. Why?
Can I just ask this question? Is it asking too much?
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
To expect the President of the United States, the Commander in Chief, to set the tone in the room for the State of the Union.
Yes, it's asking too much.
Okay, but
It's asking too much.
it had to be awful tough. I talked to a lot of members of Congress about attending versus not attending. Both of the Congresswomen who the President, the Commander in Chief,
Yeah, because you're a coward. And you don't stand on principle. That's why you didn't attend.
have been after for a while now. We're in the room, in their seats, on behalf of the people that they represent. You know, I served as a law enforcement officer for a lot of years, and to even ask or make a statement that you need to protect this group first over another group. When I was on the street, if somebody needed help, I didn't check their citizenship before I helped them. So the president started off trying to divide, which he does so well, the nation, right? And you want to talk about protecting Americans? That's exactly what Ilhan Omar was doing.
Okay, so why didn't you join her? You're a congresswoman. Ugh. You're just gonna support her from the sidelines? What the fuck is this? Bullshit, dude. You can go on CNN and complain about Trump. Whatever. At least she's speaking. At least she's giving them some praise. Fuck me, dude. Why doesn't this audio jack work? Yeah, whatever. Oh. I need to connect this to my Bluetooth. Ah. Yeah, I'm the best YouTuber out there, by the way. Oh, fuck. Yeah, anyway, give me a sec. Ugh. Okay. Does this mic work? My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Alright. There shouldn't be any more echo anymore, I guess. I hope. I'm a tech whiz, bruh.
Talking about 2 U.S. citizens who were killed under very questionable circumstances in her district.
Is it fair for her to raise that? I mean, Trump is asking about protecting Americans. Is it fair for her to raise the 2 Americans who were killed?
Well, I think Trump's entire speech was actually pretty unifying. I think Donald Trump's superpower is positioning.
Dude. That is such a fucking... so unifying, bro. Oh, she's a New York Post columnist or correspondent. Bro. Look at Abby's face. She's like,
Plug, plug, plug. Plug, plug.
Himself as the common sense guy who's advocating for positions that the vast majority of Americans want. And there was one moment at the beginning where he invited the USA hockey team, and of course the crowd went wild chanting USA.
wow. Good for them, I guess. Dude. CNN is, like, mainstream media is such an insult to the intelligence of, like, every person who's learned how to read and write in this country. I swear to God.
USA, and then the camera panned to Rashida Tlaib, who appeared to be mouthing KKK. And then again,
Based Rashida.
you had another moment where Trump says, stand up if you want to support American citizens over illegal aliens, and instead
say his words. Say his words. What a wonderful day.
That's my philosophy. There ain't no aliens on this goddamn planet, dude.
Ilhan Omar is screaming and heckling the president, and those are the best kind of sound bites and visuals that the GOP can have for the midterms, because a lot of people might not like Donald Trump and might be kind of hemming and hawing, and then they look at the alternative and they say, oh, well, this really angry woman, gosh, I don't know about her. So that's what Trump set out to do,
that was my question.
highlight the 80-20 issues.
In response to his own question, is it fair for the Democrats to respond, why, yes, we do care about American citizens, including 2 that were killed.
Yes, it is
by
fair, but not
federal
in that
officers.
venue.
But
It
was
is fair, but
surprising
not at
to
that
me
moment.
that the President of the United States did not even mention the 2 U.S. citizens that were killed in Minnesota. How do you do the State of the Union?
It's because he doesn't care. Why do you think he cares about those people? How are people still shocked by anything? Or Trump says or does? Or like in this way? You know what I mean? You live in such a bubble, dude. Ugh.
Union, because you care about Americans so much, and not even.
Like, Democrats don't even care about American citizens. If they did, they would bring Medicare for all, or yeah, they would do Medicare for all as their primary agenda, or as their primary policy on the agenda.
Mention the two people who lost their lives on the streets of America at the hand of federal agents.
One who tried to run over.
But how
an
do
ICE
you
agent
not
in
even?
the
You
moment.
can do.
Dude, what a scumbag. Let me do this to him. Where is it? Ah. Too many buttons, dude. My Wi-Fi is so slow.
Whatever you say, boomer.
Ugh. Anyway,
Your commentary all you want, or critique, but how do you
Facts.
not mention that two people died in that
because he doesn't care, dude. He probably liked it, if we're being real. Like, he probably watched that video and laughed.
that environment? And the president was one of the most unifying speeches. The president who said, "Look at the Democrats, aren't they crazy?" He obviously does not understand that when he won election, he is supposed to represent all people.
When you go through some of the moments he went to, right, he pointed to a little girl, Delilah, who was almost killed by an illegal alien, miraculously came back. She was there with her dad. When you have Democrats who won't stand.
Oh, God, dude. Ugh. Republican coastal elitists are like some of the most disgusting people on earth.
And applaud her recovery? Yeah, I think that's
Sadly,
crazy.
people are killed in America every day.
For the router, I don't pay anything for it.
The installation was super easy. I didn't have to go pick up anything.
Sadly. And the majority of them are killed by U.S. citizens. So whether an
I don't understand that point.
undocumented
That
immigrant...
She has no idea how to respond because she knows nothing about her own country. But she got a job at the New York Post, where she's probably making 6 figures, at least. Great.
I'm saying
Whether
this
it's
is
an
calling out about
undocumented immigrant
curtailing.
And this is what all the CNN panels turn into because nobody understands like what's actually how politics actually works when they go on here. That this lady is a fucking moron who knows nothing about the world. Val Dennings is at least kind of intelligent, and she's been doing the work. So you shouldn't even like dignify this lady with trying to explain how things work. In my opinion, I would not do that. I'd be like, "Shut up, liberal."
a U.S. citizen
Fentanyl,
who's
about
the
supporting
perpetrator.
No, here's
The
the
bottom
difference.
line is somebody has died or someone has been
One died as a
seriously
result
injured.
of
Yeah, and look at her face, bro. Fucking Dexter. Where is that? Ugh. Look at her face, dude. Someone has died, and she's like, okay. Who cares?
of bad policy that was in place for 4 years, allowing people to come into this country unvetted illegally. And if we had border policies that actually worked, those people wouldn't be here.
Who's this guy? He's a right-winger, right? What? Ugh. Yeah. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about either, because he's not advocating for the actual solution to the border crisis, which is to grant amnesty and, you know, spruce up the, put more judges down there so that they can process legal migrants faster or whatever. Because, what's happening at the border is just people can't get across legally because they're stuck on the other side because of how slow the process is intentionally designed to be. So then they come over illegally.
And those deaths would not have occurred. That's the difference. So when you can point
Or not even illegally, uncivilly, because, well, it is illegal, but it's a civil violation. It's a moving violation.
directly to policy, I think that's obviously well within the scope of any president, Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, by the way, it went so well in Minnesota that the president sidelined his secretary, skipped her in the cabinet meeting, replaced her with Tom Homan, who then pulled everybody out. So yeah, it worked.
Look at him. He's so mad. How dare you? Finally. When a Democratic politician actually speaks straight for once about their opinion on something, like, that's actually what works to convince people. Because this guy's mind is getting blown right now, and that's why he's making that angry face.
Real well that they abandoned it and left. That's number one. Number two is, look, Donald Trump there's a lot of verbs and adjectives.
Or he doesn't care, and he's just laughing it off because he's like, I'll be fine. Who cares about you or anybody else?
Describe unifying is not one of them. He doesn't even think he's unifying. That's not his strategy.
Two-thirds of the people who watched the speech thought it was very positive.
Yeah, I think most people who watched the speech were probably Republicans. I don't know. That'd be my guess. I didn't tune in. I still haven't watched any of it. Because it's, just a fucking clown show. Like, there's nothing substantive about... I doubt there's anything substantive that came out of that other than that, it's just, the country gets to watch Republicans jerk each other off, I guess, on TV. I don't know.
They liked it.
Actually, it was the lowest positivity in 20 years of any.
I think that's...
Yeah, I mean, watch it. I mean, if everybody, assuming the normal voting active engaged audience did tune in to see that. Yeah, of course, nobody liked what was going on there. Okay.
Listen, and he patently bold-faced lied about illegal immigrants and criminality. He said that the man who had killed the Ukrainian woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, Irina, was an undocumented immigrant who had been let in by Biden. That was a lie. He's a U.S. citizen. He was born.
People are so stuck on the details of what's happening in this country. It's like, oh, he made this one lie. It's like, bro, his entire life is a lie. Who cares about the one time he lied about something? He lies about, like, virtually everything he says. Like, the only places Donald Trump doesn't lie at are at Jeffrey Epstein's island, I think. That's where he can be honest about himself.
In North Carolina.
You're right. He said, but it was another policy failure that led to him killing
That was purposeful, him using illegal immigrants as the boogeyman. he said 12,000 murderers had been allowed in by Joe Biden. That's made up. He's making that number up and conflating
We don't
numbers.
know.
That is no. We do.
What a dumb broad, dude. We don't know. Aren't you supposed to be a journalist or a... You're in media, bruh. Do your fucking job, please. Well, I guess her job is just to do right-wing propaganda because she's at the New York Post. So...
No, there's maybe 20 people who
We
came
do
across
know
this
because
other
Alex
murder.
has put out numbers.
No,
we
we
actually
do.
do know that that's not
Yeah.
true.
Buddy,
They
chill.
lie. Listen, he lied
Go
over
out in a
20
sec.
times. Daniel Dale from CNN has done the fact checking, and a lot of those lies were about immigration. He said Maduro opened up the prisons and the insane asylums. There is no evidence, zero, that Maduro did that. Castro did it in 1980. But
oh, God. Anti-communism is such a brain disease, dude.
there is zero evidence that Maduro did it in the last few
Okay,
years.
but this is kind of the whole point. Is
No,
you're literally
you're telling
defending Maduro and
I am not
Venezuela right
defending
now.
Maduro. I am telling you the guy you say is unified.
You're defending Maduro! Wow. These people are fucking clueless, dude. They know nothing about the world or how it works. Ugh. Brilliant. Yeah, anyway. Maduro is a... He is... Okay. Y'all should go listen to some Chavista journalists. They went on Democracy Now! Or the Katie Halper show. They can explain to you better than me what's been going on in their own country. But anyway, Venezuela is a more open society than China is. And so, yeah, Maduro will jail people who come into, like, you know, the Chavistas put people in jail who were trying to overthrow their government. That's just common. Ugh, that's just a normal thing to do if you're a fucking in the periphery of the empire, you know? You gotta protect your country somehow. Can't let people just try to come in and fucking, you know, fuck shit up while we're starving them with sanctions and preventing life-saving medication from getting into Venezuela. You know? And now Maduro's basically going through a kangaroo court that these people, like, they captured him, they brought him here, they admitted, like, the charges against him were like the Cartel of the Suns, Cartel de las Solas, or whatever. It was a completely made-up thing that the CIA just, you know, fabricated as a way to make people, as a way to, you know, do propaganda against the Chavista movement. Be like, oh, these guys are the drug dealers. These guys are the drug dealers. It's not us. We only armed the cartels in Mexico and, you know, send our troops to go protect poppy fields in Afghanistan. But it's actually Maduro who's the drug lord in this equation. Yep, awesome.
Is a pathological liar.
Yeah. Because these people don't know how the world works, that's why they get so mad at each other. Like, no, I'm right. Instead of realizing that this broad doesn't know what she's talking about. Ana Navarro barely knows what she's talking about. Anyway. Should I watch another one? How long has this been going? 35 minutes? Yeah, that's good enough. I gotta get ready for work. Pieces.